want to make sure that they don't deceive the public.
EZLUBE says an employee that violated company policy, including making untrue statements, will be fired. The company has also offered Dave Golgi, who you saw in the story, a replacement engine for his car, which died after he got an EZLUBE engine flush. Also, late last month, EZLUBE filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company blames its financial woes on the recent economic slowdown and negative media attention. EZLUBE plans to borrow money in an effort to keep its stores open while it seeks the sale of some or all of its assets. As for Jiffy Lube, they told us they're taking steps to minimize the chance of their employees making more untrue statements.
We have been looking into car repair practices at major lube and tune chains that car makers say could damage your engine or your transmission. Here with me now is the investigative reporter who uncovered it all, Joel Grover. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I have a lot to say.
I know you do, and you know, that's funny because you would think the owners of these lube and tune places would have a lot to say too, but in all the years you've been doing these investigations, we hardly ever seem to really hear from them.
They do not want to show their faces. Every time I do these investigations, we ask Jiffy Lube and or EZLUBE to please sit down and do an on-camera interview. No ground rules, a give and take. They have as long as they want to answer our questions. They consistently refuse to do interviews, and they never tell me why. I'll tell you why I think they don't want to do interviews. I think they're afraid to answer some very tough questions and follow-up questions. If I had interviewed them for these pieces, I would have said to them, why are you pushing services to customers when the manufacturer of those cars, the people who designed, built, and tested these cars say the services you're offering are harmful? That's a tough question for them to answer. They avoided answering it.
What do you think the answer to that question is, though? Because is it because, well, we invested in this big machine that's really expensive that does this high-tech engine flush that, oops, we found out later?
Put words in their mouth, but I can tell you that Jiffy Lube and EZLUBE and other places make millions a year selling these services, engine flushes, fuel injection cleanings. They don't make their money selling oil changes. They get you in there with an oil change, and they sell you other things. So there's a lot of money to be made selling these services that either can damage your car or, I want to make this point, on newer cars, they are a complete waste of money. Newer cars, the manufacturers tell me if you change your oil regularly, there's detergents in the oil that clean out the engine, clean out the injectors. You don't need these services. It's a waste of money. But there's a lot of money to be made selling engine flushes, fuel injection cleanings, high-tech transmission flushes, all this stuff.
So if you have a car, you personally, Joel Grover, has a car that's past its warranty and you're taking it to get an oil change, where are you going to take it?
You're putting me.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot, but I mean, I guess my question is, are these places, are they terrible to go to just if you're just going to go to get an oil change, or do you have any trust in them at all after all these years of investigation?
Well, this is what I can say. Everyone should find a shop that has a good reputation, that they've heard about through word of mouth, that family or friends have gone to for years and said, I know the people in that shop and I trust them. So whether it's Jiffy Lube or an independent shop, find a place that your friends and family trust and has a good track record, and that's where you go. You know, my car's under warranty, it goes to the dealership. But I know of a couple of independent shops that have been in town in Los Angeles for decades, and people keep going back to them, and they get lots of business because they have great word of mouth if they're honest.
Right, right. Now, if you do have damage on your car from an engine flush, first of all, how do you know? How do you prove it's from that engine flush, and what's your recourse?
Unfortunately, you don't have a lot of recourse, and I want to make that clear. So buyer beware. If you get an engine flush and your engine is damaged, you're probably going to have to pay to replace it. Your car's warranty will not cover it, even if it's under warranty, and that's because car makers say if you do a service that's not on the car maker's maintenance schedule and there's damage, it's not covered. And engine flushes, fuel injection services are not on your car's maintenance schedule. You can complain to Jiffy Lube and EZLUBE, but I've tracked a lot of these cases. More often than not, they won't pay for the damage from one of these services. They usually won't admit that it was one of their services that damaged your car. They'll say it was something else. So you're out of luck. Buyer beware.
Yeah, I guess the bottom line, look at your manual and do what it says.
That's the best advice. Follow the manual in your glove box and do the services it says. And car makers say, Don't do anything that's not in your manual.
All right. Joel Grover, thanks so much.